Hey everybody, I am David, and today I am doing a little tribute video to Stan Lee. That's right, Stan the Man Lee, the legend, who has created many comic book characters that we all adore as we grew up as kids. We either read them in comics, watched them as cartoon characters, and nowadays we're watching them on the big screen, coming one after the other. And apparently he passed away this morning. And there's a lot of people sending their loves and prayers and, wishful thinkings to Stan Lee's family and friends. I also want to send my condolences to them. It is a very sad time, in a time where we need heroes. We lose one, a real life hero. Stan Lee, I was reading today, did serve as a veteran in the U.S. Army, which I thought was a really interesting tidbit. I think I did hear that before, but it was interesting hearing it again and how he served. Obviously, we all love the creations that Stan Lee has created. Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, the X-Men, Fantastic Four was like the very first Marvel comic that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby worked on. He's worked also with Stan Ditko, as well as many other comic book artists throughout the years. And his legacy will always go on, and we'll always remember him. Or at least, hopefully, we can pass on to the younger generation to remember who Stan Lee and all these creators are, because Stan Lee is like, it's coming to an end of an era where a lot of those older creators are no longer around, and we need to remember where the characters we're enjoying today, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be experiencing this renaissance of superhero movies, of this success. I'm going to expect Avengers 4 to have, at the end of their credits, they're going to definitely have In Memory to Stan Lee. I think that would be the perfect movie to put a memoriam there on. It truly is a sad day. The first person I told today about Stan Lee's passing was my brother, who is a comic illustrator. He draws his own comics. He goes to conventions to try to sell them. His biggest influence is Jack Kirby. And I knew he was the first person that popped in my mind that I had to tell, because he respected Stan Lee a lot also. And so, I told my brother, you know how iconic Stan Lee is when one of the first people to call you is your father. So my father calls me up and is the one that tells me, even though I already knew because I'm always looking at Twitter, my dad calls me up and says, David, Stan Lee passed away, and he was 95 years old. So that's interesting that my father now knows who Stan Lee is, thanks to the Marvel movies, giving him a cameo in every film we see him in. And I'm always like, Dad, do you know who that is? And he's like, yeah, it's Stan Lee. So it's amazing how iconic he is. That's why he's considered legendary for a lot of people. And you look all over Twitter today, it's like a lot of people, big name celebrities even, sending their condolences and their well wishes and their thoughts and their prayers and their memories of Stan Lee, which is incredible. My favorite cameo, I'm not going to reveal that yet, because I am going to do a top 10 Stan Lee MCU or Marvel movie cameos. So I'm going to save that for another video. But I will say that I will miss Stan Lee, man. He, whenever you watch interviews with him, he always has these great, funny stories to tell. And I can't remember one at the top of my head right now, but usually Stan Lee is a guy you have to listen to what he's going to say. I remember he was talking in an interview not too long ago. It might have been earlier this year or sometime last year, where he was saying that he went to Leonardo DiCaprio's house, and Leo was telling him he wanted to play him in a movie, and Stan Lee was honored, and he said some sort of joke like, well, I don't know if you can play me, Leo, because I'm more handsomer than you, or something like that, to that extent. Yeah, his humor, we're gonna miss it, and it's gonna be weird when we get past the movie where he did his last cameo appearance and we no longer see him anymore. That's gonna be a sad moment when we realize what happened to the Stan Lee cameo, because we're always expecting it nowadays. So Stan, you will be missed. We wish you the best. We hope to see you all again one day. If there is life beyond where we are today, hopefully we all do get to see you again and get more of your stories that you love to tell so much. So with that being said, I hope you guys comment below, and please be respectful. Leave your well wishes. Tell me your thoughts on Stan Lee. I did get to meet Stan Lee once, sort of. I did get to go to Toronto Comic-Con or Fan Expo one day, and unfortunately they were rushing the line. But I did get my autograph. I was a couple of feet away from him, but unfortunately, because they were rushing the line, I didn't get that chance to talk to him. Because I've heard so many great stories of people who've had great experiences with Stan Lee that it would have been great to have a little bit of that, but I didn't, and I don't blame him. I get it. He had to be rushed off to go to a photo ops, and that's just the kind of luck you get at conventions sometimes, especially as someone who people really want to meet like Stan Lee. So his lineups are huge, and sometimes they just have to rush you out. So with that being said, guys, I hope you comment below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care.